Hey, what's up everyone? So I wanted to do a short summary here of Rapture Church, and it's under YE. So what is YE? YE stands for Yahweh Everywhere. Now that is the traditional name of God from the Bible that I don't have time to necessarily get into right now, but understand that that is the name of the biblical God of the Bible. And so I put two words together. Yahweh Everywhere means we want to impact all people wherever they are at. And so this is a campaign that I am trying to raise funds to start a physical church location. And so we are looking to start a church here in the Puyallup area. It would be great if, you know, there was partner churches in other areas, but for now, as a startup church, we are looking to do a little twist to the traditional church. And so one of those twists are operating 7 days a week. So a church where you can always go to for many different needs in your life. You know, sometimes churches, you know, they're just not open when you need them. What if you want prayer late at night and you want somewhere to go? What if you want a place that you can just, fellowship with other Christians and, a place where you can connect and network with other Christians and other like-minded believers during the week and not just Sunday. We are trying to do innovative things like that where we are connecting people together and also bringing a good impact to the community. And so, on my website, washi.com, you can go there and see a little bit of what we are doing. Now, the website has a lot going on. There's not really a whole lot of way around it. Otherwise, I try to organize it as much as possible, guys. But, one of the things that this church is looking to do is to get into a cafe. What if we could reach people out in the community and not just on Sundays? And so I'm raising funds for all of YE to start and grow and reach people for Jesus Christ. And so the ultimate, slogan for YE Company is sharing Jesus through business and through ministry. So obviously there's a huge part of the world that is interested in business, whether that be buying things or selling things. You have consumers and you have spenders, or you have consumers and you have people who are actually wanting to produce products and services. And so one of those things that I wanted to do, like Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A, let's use them as an example. Chick-fil-A does a great job at, being a Christian company, but their core is not necessarily evangelism. They are more of a witness company. What is a witness company? It's basically a company that just is Christian and is holding up to Christian values, but is not necessarily evangelizing in a traditional sense, like handing out material or telling people about Jesus in various forms. And then you have other people who are, looking to know more about Jesus, but they just don't know where to go. And so sometimes during the week, during nighttime, people have an impulse or a drawing, we should say, from God to learn more about him or do whatever that they feel on their heart they need to do in regards to seeking God. And so what if there was a place where you could go and get baptism? Well, that would be great, especially during the week where it's 12 o'clock, in the afternoon or in the middle of the day, and you feel like, oh, you know what? I think it's time for me to get baptized. But, most of the churches in your area most likely have to schedule it with you, or they'll have to say, you wait till Sunday. Well, guys, some things is in the Bible, it says today is the day of salvation. And so why not bring people more of a today-like salvation in offering services that people have the opportunity to reach out to Jesus and have him reach back to them. And one of the services that in regards to baptism I was thinking about a mobile baptism service where you can call a number or text a number or you can, you know, download an app. That would be great if eventually we would have an app where we can, basically like Uber, call yourself a baptism to your door, and someone can get baptized right there, you know, in the open and at a mobile baptism unit. And so that's just something that, you know, we are thinking about here. And when I say we, it's me, my wife, and then I have a few other people that are on my team. And so, you know, I think there is still a need for churches, guys. We don't know when Jesus is going to return, but we can do business till he comes and get ready. And so one of the ways that I wanted to do that is through a local church, but have a spin on it and have a more modern, innovative way, a caught up way of doing church. Now, obviously, church is always going to be adapting, guys. You know, when more revelation comes from Jesus, then, you know, we adapt and, you know, take hold of those things. For example, artificial intelligence, guys. There are more discovery of how ministries can use technology. And so that wasn't available to churches in the past. And so sometimes we have to catch up to what everyone is interested in. Yes, you know, we are trying to reach Christian people, but we also have to minister to everybody, you know? And so I think not without compromising on biblical values, on biblical eternal truths, I want to be able to market Jesus Christ in many different forms, in a lot of different forms. And there's still a huge need. Christian movies, guys. The film industry is just getting started in regards to Christian movies. And so I want to be a company and a ministry that offers, you know, amazing, fun to watch Christian movies that also teach you biblical truths and share Jesus. Guys, the list can just go on about, you know, things that, things that, you know, we would like to do, you know, but to get started, you know, as you go through the website, maybe this can look very overwhelming to you. And so I believe it's good to start with small beginnings. And so right now we're offering an online portion of our ministry, but we would like to get into physical locations. You know, it would be great to get into different locations that, you know, are oysters for evangelism. Now, where does this drive come from? This all comes from Jesus Christ. He made this world for himself, and, you know, he made this world also for us to evangelize and preach the goodness of God. And so when you become a Christian, I believe we all get called to be involved in the Great Commission, and the internet and also retail locations is a great start to really reach people. Now, guys, I don't know if we're done reaching people, right? We always want to, you know, keep up with, as God is giving us more days, that means there are more days to be reaching people for Jesus. And so, as you know, read on about, you know, some of what YE has to offer on our website, you can go to the What We Believe page and check out, you know, our biblical foundations. I fall into more of a non-denominational ministry. And I want to preach to all denominations and try to bring unity. Now, this is not a one-man job, you know, and so that's why I would like to keep YE at a Washington-based company. Now, it would be great if people would like to bring YE and franchise different aspects of the ministry and company. That would be great, but I would like to focus on the people around me and not necessarily try to gain the whole world, because Jesus said, even for a Christian, you know, if you gain the whole world, you can possibly lose your soul. So with that being said, I do want to offer things that people outside of Washington State, outside of the greater Seattle area, things that they can come to and, you know, offer services and products and experiences that are worth traveling here to Seattle for. Let me bring up another thing that it would be great to do. It would be great to have more than one Noah's Ark encounter, guys. There's one on the East Coast, but it would be great to bring one over to the West Coast. And so that's a big task, guys. Now on the website, guys, you will find many different business ideas. Some of those things are things that I would like to try to accomplish here in this lifetime, but other things I would like to accomplish in the eternity of eternities, meaning in the future somewhere. And I realize that all of those things may not necessarily be able to fully be done, just in this lifetime alone. And maybe so, maybe it can be done. And so I'm asking you guys to give and be a part of what YE is trying to do. So let me focus in. Now I've told you, I gave you a short summary of YE Company, Rapture Church, our ministry. Now I want to hone in on, okay, what are you actually asking for? And what are you getting when you support YE? So guys, I have always thought of, not always, but it's always great to, open a business and, offer services that are both competitive and actually relevant to the modern age, to the people of today. And so one of those things is Bunker Church, guys. So there's Rapture Church. This Rapture Church is both a local church, but it is also a more of an online experience that you're getting, where you are joining me on my journey to get Rapture ready. And you are preparing yourself for the real coming of the Lord and all the things that go along with that. But also, the first thing that I'm raising money for is a retail church location. So check out this picture. I'm not just gonna post this video, guys. I'm gonna edit it, and so that means I'll be able to put these pictures up here for you. Now, one thing you will notice on my YouTube channel is that I do not always edit and make my videos look pristine and nice. Part of that is because, when I got started, I did not know a lot about YouTube. But also, sometimes, guys, when you're putting out, you're trying to reach people as often as you can, sometimes, editing videos can slow you down. And so what I've discovered is that sometimes I want to put a video out that is based off of the title, and maybe I'll put a thumbnail, but really the title. And it's not just drawing people in because of the looks. I want to see if people are actually interested in, listening and trying to be saved, trying to learn about Jesus, trying to know God, and all the things that, YE is about. So you're supporting our online ministry, but I realize that, when you are asking for something, you have to have some sort of value that people feel that, they can also experience God, and they can also experience the ministry and the company for themselves. And so this is where the church local retail location is coming from. So there's three things that I want to talk about: our online ministry, our local retail location, and Bunker Church. And those are the things that, I'm asking for funds for. And I'll give you the overall vision, but I'll also give you the everyday, real, attainable goal that I'm looking to do. And so here we go. So Rapture Church is going to be a retail location that, if you check out this picture, it has the main church location on the one side of the picture, and then there is a retail location on the side. And the reason that I think this design has some merit to it, now obviously designs can change over time, guys, but Jesus does not want God's house to turn into a marketplace. And so when talking about ministry and also the business aspect of YE Company, we should have a little bit of a separation. And so I like what other churches are doing. Now, I'm not reinventing the wheel completely, guys. So I'm, I have some idea of churches that when I've visited or I've seen online that I feel like, oh, I really like, how this church is set up. And so, but the main location is basically a house of prayer. So the services are going to be held in there. You can get baptized in there. It's going to be the main aspects of a church. But then you have the left side, or whatever side, it can be on, is the retail location. Or maybe this is in the back of the church or the front of the church as you walk through. But this is where we're offering things like Eden Cafe, where you have a cafe that is like Starbucks, for example. Not that I want to name drop, but a Starbucks, a Christian version of Starbucks in a church that is open 7 days a week. So, I want to offer like a space where if you don't feel like it's like you want to be a part of church, but maybe you want to go to a Starbucks location, like a coffee shop, and just hang out there. Maybe you want to do some studying, maybe you want to do some reading, maybe you want to just relax in that type of atmosphere. And so having a spin of both a cafe mixed with a library, mixed with a bakery, mixed with or library / bookstore, mixed with a kind of a hangout spot, and then also getting into a few other things, that products and services that we will be offering at that church location. And so, guys, I don't want to do, I feel like clothing and books, what is traditionally sold at our bookstores that you see at church, you'll see a coffee shop, you'll see a bookstore, you'll see clothing, and it'll have different type of merch. I think that's great, but YE Company is doing that. But also, I'm trying to just open and expand, the products that we have that reach people for Jesus Christ. So in the retail store, you'll have Christian unique products like, mugs, t-shirts, dresses, bags, shoes, and different things that are meant to speak to the Christian community and also anyone who enters that location. Because here's the deal, guys, when you start a church, Jesus said, love your enemies. And so if we are only open on a Sunday service, and then during the week, it's darkness, there's no other Christian place that you can go to, and you're just like, okay, I don't want to really go to church. As an unbeliever, maybe they're thinking, someone who's not a Christian, maybe they're thinking, I don't really want to go to church. Church is not really my thing. But, hey, I'll go to a coffee shop and see that, or I'll go to their, products that they offer and see what this company is about, And so we also are loving our enemies, guys. And so that's why you'll see, different products like this one, this shirt that I offer here. This shirt, I believe we don't compromise on what the Bible says, guys. There are sin. There are absolute things that are wrong, guys. But, we're called into the trenches, guys. We're called into a war to meet people where they're at. Now, for different Christians, that looks different, guys. Some people are literally called into the prison ministry. Some people street preach. Some people hang out with gangbangers and they preach to gangbangers. And other people, we have to reach people where they're at and can't just throw the Bible at people and say, hey, you need to change. Guys, sometimes people know something is wrong, but we need to win people through the goodness of God. And so I want to be a company that invites unbelievers into our space to a certain extent, guys. Now, as far as the church is concerned, guys, I'm a traditional, the church side, I'm a traditional type of non-denominational church where we're going to be preaching Jesus. We are going to be preaching the Bible, sticking with biblical core values that God does not change on. Guys, I'm a 10 commandment person, guys. Even though we are not saved by the law, guys, I'm a Bible person where we have clear teaching that keeps us in line. And so, guys, you will see, the church, you know, not to, you know, put out, you know, maybe churches that are not so much, you know, they're always criticized in the Christian community. You know, I'm not affiliated with Catholic Church. I'm not affiliated with Seventh-day Adventist, or I'm not affiliated with the United Methodist or United Church, where, you know, maybe how they pursue inclusiveness is a little bit extreme. But not to say that they are necessarily always wrong in what they're doing, guys. I feel like there are some strong and weak points in every single church, guys. And don't let me bash if you're a part of that church, guys. You know, it's just, there's a side of our services that are still going to stay traditional, but the retail space. So, you know, I am interested in business for a long time. You know, I would like to have a place where you can get ice cream, you know, Coneheads Creamery, where you can get ice cream at this cafe side, where you can go there for multiple reasons, a place where you would want to come during the week. You know, even though there's not necessarily always church services during the week, I want to talk about that a little bit more, about what YE has to offer as far as our church is concerned. But the retail side is going to be, you know, something like, I would say, a mix of multiple companies in one location. And it's just going to be fun, guys. If I can get this, your support, you know, if you feel like already this is something that you want to do, you can support on Indiegogo. You can support on Indiegogo and look at some of the perks that I have for this side. Excuse me. For this side of the company, of the ministry side, you know, for this side, you can support us and look at the perks that I have to offer for that one. But also, let's transition in here to Bunker Church. So guys, have you ever thought of what is the world like underground? Guys, surprisingly, there is a whole biblical teaching that I can do that would really excite you, actually, wouldn't bore you, on what is under our feet, guys. And so there is, you know, a lot to say, but Bunker Church is, as the name implies, check out this, you know, rendering of what ultimately I would like Bunker Church to be like here near Seattle, in the Seattle greater area. This is a place that I feel like is going to be both a hotel, but also a retail space. You know, I don't know if you've ever gone to kind of like cool little small towns where they have these cool little shops, and you can also get a hotel there and stay. And so this is going to be all underground. And this is something that I think is just cool. You know, I think it's just cool to live underground and have the idea of expanding our territory underneath the ground. And so getting into bunkers, there's a whole community on bunkers, guys. And so if you don't know anything about bunkers, basically, let me give you a 30-second elevator pitch. So bunkers can protect you. And let me grab my book here. A bunker, this is a book. Excuse the cuss word right here. Sorry about that. But this is a book that talks about emergency preparedness. You know, surviving things like, it says, are you prepared for any emergency? And one of the things that he said in this book is that many Americans, everyday people, and just many people who are, you know, just living today, are not modernized on how to be protected in the modern world that we live in today. And so this just interests me, guys. I don't know if God has just been making me into someone that likes camping and, you know, kind of outdoors, and I like animals and, you know, nature and different things like that. Well, bunkers is kind of like camping. It's kind of like camping, but it's underground. And so I want to offer like an Airbnb that you can go to and rent out to live in a bunker. And so bunkers protect you from something like terrorist attacks, fire, flood, tornadoes, a winter storm, a hurricane, a landslide, an earthquake, a drought, a nuclear emergency, civil unrest, and so much more. And it's not just the bunker itself, guys. It is the supplies and the preparedness that you have. And so it's called prepping. And so there's a lot that we could talk about in regards to prepping, but to spare you from all of the educational things that we could talk about, what I'm offering here is a room stay in our hotel bunker that I'm raising money for. And so this is the other perk that is offered. And so let me talk a little bit about what we need and what you can get. And so as far as bunker church or bunker homes, I mix the words between bunker church and bunker homes. On my website, you will see bunker homes. And so bunker homes or bunker church is an underground community. Ultimately, I would like to create a full-on underground community like you see in this picture. But for now, for this Indiegogo page, what we need. So a bunker, to put it in there, in the ground, you need about $500,000. Now, you could do one for $100,000. You could do one for $300,000. Why the price is a variable price is because, as you see in this picture, this is a bunker, guys. As you see in this picture, bunkers are, you know, interchangeable. You can make different designs on them as you put certain pieces together. And so, for the bunker Airbnb, you can rent this out for a certain set time and get your experience of what it is like to live in a bunker. And, you know, this will be a you know, great little retreat that, you know, you can have. But ultimately, I would also like to do, you know, a really big community apartment style. But I'm gonna wait on that for now, so you're not raising funds for that necessarily. Now, if we went over our funds to create the community style bunker, guys, like you saw on the screen, like an apartment style, cost about upwards of $6 million. About $6 million, guys. Now that would be cool to have like a little underground mall for YE and an underground mall and hotel and a shopping experience. Guys, that would be awesome. But Bunker Home is basically a hotel that, you know, you can stay in. I already have the builder that I will be using. He seems like a great guy, guys. His name, I believe, is Rick, and he's off of Atlas Survival Shelters. And basically, you know, there are many different bunker builders, but you'll be able to travel whenever you travel to Seattle, guys. You can stay in this community, or if you're doing any type of road trip, you can stay at this place. And this can also just give you a feel for what it's like to stay in a bunker. I don't see really any that I know. There are probably some out there, but really there's not a lot available of having a bunker that you can rent out and actually live in as a choice of lifestyle. I haven't seen that anywhere, guys. It's really a growing community, you know. It's really like at the tip of the iceberg, like in a literal sense, as far as the growth and the potential that living underground has as far as bunkers are concerned and living underground. I believe it's, you know, just like, you know, Christopher Columbus traveling to new land. That's kind of like what going underground feels like. Now, obviously, you don't want to go too far underground because you'll enter the core, you know, but these bunkers in a reality sense are about 10 feet down. They can be 6 feet maybe, but I believe they're 10 feet down on average. You can make them a little bit lower, but as you see in the picture, you know, this bunker is, you know, really far enough to protect you from pretty much anything. And that's what these guys say, these builders, is that these bunkers can protect you from pretty much anything. Now, obviously, you have to be in the bunker. And so this is not something that you can say, oh, I'm gonna rent this out for forever. and you can stay in this indefinitely. No, that would be where the apartment style, you know, underground bunker community that I would like to build, that's where that comes in. But until we get there, you know, raising $6 million for that, I just want to do an Airbnb style thing. And so that's it, guys. Check out the perks that you can get for this particular, you know, bunker home section. Now, again, we've talked about the Rapture Church physical retail location. And so again, to summarize everything, let me look at my notes here. So to summarize the three perks, you have the retail location for Rapture Church, where we're raising funds for actual physical church location. And I didn't say this earlier, but we need about $100,000, $150,000 to start our church and retail location. And so now it would take us about maybe 4 years or so to save this money up on our own. But I want to put this out there on Indiegogo and, you know, have people interested in something and, you know, really thinking about the best, you know, route to take. I think it would be not necessarily saving this up on my own, but getting other people involved. And so you have the Rapture Church, which is our online church, and then we're raising monies. This whole Indiegogo program is to raise money for our physical church location and retail space. And then we want to do bunker homes. In bunker homes, you're raising money for our Airbnb style bunker home that you can rent out and you can reserve right now. That's what the perks are. And that is yet to be created. And so you're raising money for that. Now, that has to do with going over our funding goal. So guys, I'm gonna set it for $150,000, maybe a little bit less, for our retail church location. But if this campaign, for whatever reason, reaches over our maximum goal, where we reach between $100,000 to $500,000 more, if we reach that goal, then, you know, that would be awesome. And I would create the Airbnb bunker home. Now, if this, you know, what needs to be done for that is I have to purchase land. Now, I'm already in contact with the builders, and everything is in place. They can come out. I just need to find a location that is private and, you know, a good location to be in. But other than those two major things, you know, if we reach our goal, I will build bunker homes. Now, there are two ways you can support. You can support through this Indiegogo ad and campaign, or you can go to my website and donate, or you can send me, you know, if you want to support by sending a check in the mail. This is a legal company, guys, and your money will be used for what I have discussed. So, you know, I will not use any of that money for myself. If we do not reach our funding goal for bunker homes, then I will transfer that money and put it into Rapture Church and our retail location. Okay, and let me repeat that again. If our funding goal for bunker homes is not reached, I will use that money, and the minimum has to be about $150,000 for the bunker itself. Now, that is not including the land. And so that's why I gave the number about $500,000 to $600,000, because land here in Washington is not always cheap, guys. You know, especially to not be, you know, super far away from town. Not everyone likes to be super far away from town, even though the land is cheaper out in town, out away from town. But so the land would probably be $150,000 again. You know, another, if I've looked at, you know, Zillow, in our location, the greater Seattle area, and a decent patch of land, I found some pretty good land spots, but it is, you know, the land alone is probably about $150,000. And then the installation of the bunker is, you know, another thing. Now, on top of this bunker, guys, or in the home of this bunker, because the bunker is underground, right? So you have the bunker underground, but on top is most likely going to be some sort of structure, which would most likely be some sort of house. And that will be a house church, or a house location. On that house location, I want to have a church that meets, you know, on top of there. And so it would be great to have a retail location there too, with bunker homes. But starting with small beginnings, we're going to keep it small, guys. And so that's the ways you can support is through Indiegogo, through sending something in the mail, or through our online secure portal on my website. Guys, my website is hosted by Squarespace, and Squarespace is a, you know, company that is on their P's and Q's. You know, they seem to be a very professional company. They're based out of New York City. And so I've heard a lot of good things online, and they even have ads on television. And so a lot of people do support Squarespace. And so that's what I chose to make my website washi.com about. And so, I mean, on using their platform. And so you can donate through our website, guys, and support. But if you donate through the website, you do not get the perks that you will get if you donate through Indiegogo. So I recommend going through Indiegogo. I'll have some Rapture gear that you can get on Indiegogo, some end times clothing, guys. I like to talk about end times in my ministry. You'll see different shoes and different items that you can get as a perk for supporting our retail church location startup. And so anyway, thanks so much for checking out this video. And before you go, I'm just going to talk about the impact, risks and challenges, and other ways that you can support. And so the impact. So you know, I feel like I've explained a little bit about why this is important, but let me just, you know, go over why should you, you know, give a rip about, you know, YE. Well, guys, I believe sharing the gospel has somewhat gone stale, and not as a negative thing. I just think it's an aroma in the air that we need to shift our ways of evangelizing to people, because we're getting shut out in a closet, guys. Now, obviously there are so many ways that people are evangelizing, guys. People are still getting saved, but some people just do not want to go into a church, but they may drive to Chick-fil-A. And so YE wants to be something like that, where we are offering a location that invites all types of people in, and also have an evangelistic aspect to us. And so that's where why we talk about sharing the gospel through Jesus and business. And so what are the risks and challenges? Well, you know, the challenges, I think, are, you know, new ideas can be hard for people to understand sometimes. When you talk about doing any type of change, and especially the seriousness of the church, I think that, you know, any type of change has to be done cautiously. And so I think always trying to keep a more of a don't break anything that, you know, is working type of attitude, where, you know, there are churches out there that are actually successful in evangelizing to their local area. But I just see some gaps in our evangelism where we can, you know, open the church more days a week. Because I know, guys, when I was out, you know, looking for a church, there was not a place that I could go. There was zero. And so that may have changed. You know, I know it's been some years, where I have been looking for a church. Now, obviously, you know, it's fine, you know, the world still turns, but the challenge, I think, is creating something semi-fresh and new, and you know, bringing that to the world and getting pushback from it or criticism. And so Jesus is present to help us, guys. He's present to tell us things and to shape our way. And so ways that you can help, there's so many ways. You know, that saying that churches always need volunteers, it's kind of true. So you can be a part of YE through a volunteer basis or through a paid basis. You know, but the paid side is not necessarily happening just yet. So I would say, if you don't feel like you want to donate, you can also volunteer and become a part of YE. As this ministry grows, I want to franchise the things that YE is doing here in Seattle, so YE can be brought to other areas, guys. And so, you know, I always wish that Chip and Joanna Gaines would offer their building services in other locations. And I even tweeted him about that one time. And so it would be great that YE could be expanded on. So with all that being said, guys, you can go to washi.com. I have a number up there that you can text if you want to be a part of YE in some shape or form. You know, I want to offer a prayer, 24-hour prayer line. I started a number just for that, you know, and so I have a 24-hour prayer line that, you know, you can, I believe I can add more people to it. And so if you want to be a part of that, you can. Also, you know, there's just different ways that I would love to offer people a fresh way to volunteer and to serve Jesus in ways that, you know, we may not have thought of yet. There is YE chaplains. You know, that is a chaplain service that anybody can be a part of, and an organization that I think can impact just the everyday citizens that we see, and not just the military, not just the police force, not just you know, hospitals or family counselors. I believe, you know, the everyday citizens can have access to an everyday chaplain where you know, you can be a part of that. Just like Billy Graham has his chaplains that show up to different disasters. You know, I want to do something similar to that. So if you feel like you want to be a part of YE, go to my website, text the number, and we can go from there. And so thanks so much. You know, I'm wiped out by doing this video, guys, but you know, if you have any more questions, you can text the number on my website, and I will get to your questions as soon as I can. And so thanks so much. Have a great night, guys. Have a great day. And so